we're going over to Twitter land, where eToro was going to be offering crypto trading to Twitter users. The new partnership is going to see Twitter users get access to real-time prices for crypto, stocks, and other assets, and then get directed right off to eToro's platform where they can invest. Users on Twitter will be able to search for cash tags. Now, I believe that we've been able to search for cash tags since December, but now this is going to be accessible to everyone worldwide on Twitter. And the new feature here is that straight off to eToro. I wonder how much they paid for this. But Zach, off to you. What do you think?
Hard to say who paid whom on this one. Obviously, it's a big time user attraction play by eToro, but also Twitter's kind of in the doldrums right now. A lot of people considering using other services, not really feeling the love over on Twitter lately. So a lot of folks potentially maybe less interested than they would have been in the past, right? So Twitter needs to obviously inject some life into the product. And if this is something that can inject some life into the product, then that's a great win for Elon Musk and Twitter.com. Because I think clearly it's sort of lost some of its footing here. It's lost some of its footing relative to the crypto conversation, certainly, and more broadly, I think, in the bigger conversations that are existing both in the US and globally. So if sort of this finance functionality, this personal investing functionality is something that is attractive to Twitter users, hey, maybe it moves the needle and brings more people back into the fold, right? Oh, I can read the news and trade stocks and cryptocurrencies within a few clicks. Maybe that's something that is a value to what Elon Musk Twitter wants to become. Time will tell, of course, if people ultimately end up using this service and signing up for those eToro accounts to make it all possible, right? This isn't some sort of like permissionless or decentralized exchange backend that's making it all happen because you have an Ethereum wallet somewhere. This is certainly sort of a user acquisition ploy by eToro and hey, let's try to get some more attention and some more juice back onto the platform by Twitter. So I'll toss it to you, Adam, for your thoughts. Adam, I'm tossing it to you, bud.
Yeah, so I think that this one's kind of fascinating to me. Like a lot of times as companies get bigger, they become more sort of generic and depersonalized because there's so many people and it's such a big business that it just doesn't make sense to personalize the thing. And so here, I think we have one of the very rare examples that I've seen in my life of a company that's quite large, reasonably important, coming in and essentially going from that giant company where nobody is really accountable to there's one dude who's just doing stuff. And in doing stuff, some of it's okay, some of it's great, some of it's bad, but he's doing stuff and you know exactly who it is. And that seems consistent to me with this type of move. So, I mean, like when I'm thinking about Twitter these days, I think that Musk's vision for it is kind of like a meta app, not meta in terms of Facebook claiming that or in terms of metaverse, but kind of like the layer that hovers above everything and just kind of comments on everything. And so it makes sense to me that this wouldn't be a direct integration where people are buying and selling stuff directly through Twitter, but is in fact referencing it and then pushing out to some other partner that's going to do those things. I'm very interested to see what happens with this application. Like I said, very unique experience in my experience. And I think that it could be really good, but also it could be really bad. And I think we're going to get a lot of that, both of that stuff before we figure it out. Will?
Yeah, I'm going to take this into a crypto angle you guys are not ready for. And I think Zach may appreciate this. Andre Cronje is to DeFi as Elon Musk is to all these other large companies out there, meaning that he's willing to test in production and he's also willing to be totally disliked by everyone to see whatever the hell his vision is possibly going to end up being. That's exactly how I see the situation. Elon tweeted about this, I think 6 months plus ago at this point, certainly around the time he bought Twitter. And that was the fact that they were going to test everything in production. And they have done this, right? Just the other week, what did they do with Substack? They stopped allowing Substack linked tweets onto Twitter. So you couldn't have a Substack URL on Twitter. I think they've rolled that back at this point, but the purpose was to see the reaction, right? Like, are people going to be upset? And people are certainly upset. People decide to leave Twitter because of it. And now we'll also see with the NPR thing, right? Twitter just labeled NPR as government-funded media. That really did not make NPR happy. NPR decided to leave Twitter. Well, guess what? Elon's testing in production. I think it's the same thing here with integrating these cash tags, right? We're going to see Twitter try to bring in more users by adding another product feature. And if it doesn't work out, they'll just scrap it and keep moving along. Now, the question is is it sustainable, right? Twitter has a huge moat. Everyone goes there every day. A lot of journalists use it just as the mainstay of their jobs. People go there for information all the time. And it might continue to work. But for Andre Cronje, it worked only for a little bit. If you go back into DeFi history, you'll see that he was testing in production. And then over time, people got really irritated with him and they decided not to use his stuff anymore. There's a lot more history in there. I'm kind of simplifying things. But I personally like my comparison here. I'll throw it up to Zach.
Good metaphor. Very good metaphor. When you started that metaphor off, I was like, man, I don't. And then you hit it with a test and prod. And I just, wow, that was.
And then you ended with the fact that you personally liked it. I love that. That was my favorite part. Will gave himself the stamp of approval.
Yes.
I mean, I think like just going back, I think you could do this more crypto natively, and that would be really interesting, right? Like if there is a way that sort of the composability of smart contracts and decentralized exchange could be incorporated by this Web 2 titan, that would actually be really fascinating. Instead, this is a business development relationship, right? This is something that is very Web 2. We're going to go from one big tech company to another big tech company. We're going to enable this functionality for folks, and that's great for some folks, but it'd be really cool to look under the hood and see that there was Web3 technology powering this stuff. And maybe one day that is something, right? Maybe that's something that is on the roadmap. Who knows? It's Elon doing Elon, as Adam referred to it. So we'll see if that comes to fruition at some point in the future. It could be something that would, again, enhance that super app experience that Musk is on the record as trying to make Twitter become. But hey, who knows? Adam, your thoughts?
You know,
just say you like my take.
Okay, let's just go with that. Let's just go with that. Well, let's we like your take and we'll move on.
Good take. Good take.
Nice.